meeting of the Washington County Board of Commissioners is video and audio live stream to the Commissioner's YouTube channel. Before we get started with anything official, there was a typo on today's official bulletin. At the top of the page, when you're reading, you'll see it says Tuesday, or the ones will be distributed, it says Thursday, November 20th, 2025. We have made the appropriate changes on that, but if you have this for the record, we'd like to reflect that there is a typo. As we do in every meeting, we start with our prayer. Today's prayer is to be offered by Ron Williams of the Abundant Life Baptist Church. Mr. Williams.
Thank you. Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we want to first just thank you for the Board of Commissioners and their staff. Thank you for their service, their energy, their efforts. We're grateful as a county to have them. Father, we also pray then in a follow-up of that you bring blessings on them and their families, wherever the families are extended to, and bless them. Pray the power of your Spirit would encourage commissioner staff, families. We pray the same for the residents of this great county. Thank you for the wisdom that you've provided in the past for this board. We're just asking that it continues. So, Father, the agenda today is committed to you. We want it to honor you. We want it for the good of this community to continue to develop this great county. So the agenda is committed to that end, and it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This time I'll entertain a motion to approve minutes number 1219, dated November 20th, 2025.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice? Yes. Mr. Sherman?
Yes. Thank you. We have no special order of business today, so great job, Chief Clerk. At this time, we're going to move to agenda comments. Please be viewed the views and opinions expressed by the speakers during this public comment are exclusively those of the speakers and do not represent or reflect those of the Washington County Board of Commissioners and have not been verified. Our first speaker is Mayor JoJo Burgess. You have opioid trust on here. We're not voting on anything for opioid trust today.
Okay, that's why I signed it on both lists. I just didn't know which one where I would make my comments at.
You've been officially bumped to public.
That's fine. I've had worse happen.
Shirley Andrews, please.
Good morning. My name is Cheryl Andrews, Executive Director, Washington Drug and Alcohol Commission, which serves as the single county authority. Today, I'm speaking to the 2026 budget on the agenda. I want to thank Commissioner Maggi for his continued support, and I also want to thank Commissioner Sherman for reaching out to begin scheduling a meeting. I entered the process believing that we would be discussing opioid settlement funds and how we might begin repairing a strained relationship. However, the request I received ahead of that meeting focused on detailed information about the commission, and the tone and the scope of that request made me question whether the intention was truly collaboration or something that could be used to further harm the commission. The proposed meeting date was given with short notice, and my legal counsel, who must be present for these discussions, was in court that day. I want to be clear in a public setting that WDAC is willing to meet. And I would hope that it would be a partnership rooted in honesty and integrity. Today, the Board of Commissioners will be voting on the 2026 budget that appropriates funds for new positions within the Department of Human Services to operate a second drug and alcohol program. I'm commenting on this budget item because the positions it creates, an executive director, deputy director, and 10 reclassified positions, would fundamentally change the structure of drug and alcohol services and directly affect the single county authority. It is difficult to understand how these roles can be created To my knowledge, the county has not yet received any determination from the state about changing the SCA structure. Commissioner Sherman also told WDAC staff that no jobs were in jeopardy. My staff heard that and they are now asking how can that be true if the county is creating its own competing program. They deserve straightforward answers. I also recall hearing that the county was simply sending a letter to inquire about structural changes. And if the state said no, then no harm would be done. But the positions in this budget and the nature and information requested from me suggest that significant decisions are already being made by the county that intentionally harm and bring harm to the current structure. You will do this with or without state's approval. The public deserves to know the actual plan. I'm respectfully asking that you reconsider this specific appropriation within the budget until further discussion can take place. I remain ready to meet, to share information through appropriate channels, and to work toward a true partnership that meets the needs of the community first. I simply ask that decisions be based on facts, state guidance, and transparency. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherman. At this time, we go to the old business. Mr. Solicitor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item A, division orders. The Planning Commission respectfully requests the Commissioners approve amended division orders with Range Resources. Number one, the Harmon Creek C Unit B, well 15H with the decimal interest as indicated. And number two, the Harmon Creek Unit C, well 14H with the appropriate decimal interest.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Item B, purchasing on behalf of the Redevelopment Authority of the County of Washington, respectfully request the Commissioners award the bid for Airport 14 Unit T hangar to Erect a Tube, Inc., Harvard, Illinois, at a total cost of $703,492 to be 90% paid with FAA funds and the remaining 10% with state funds. This was the lowest, most responsive, and responsible bid received.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Item C, bid extension. Purchasing respectfully request the Commissioners extend the bid contract for plumbing services to McBeal Plumbing of Washington, Pennsylvania, at their proposed time and material rates. This was the lowest, most responsive, and responsible bid received. This contract includes a 15% discount on supplies and will be effective November 1, 2025 through October 31, 2026, with no remaining opportunities to extend.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Item D, change order. Purchasing on behalf of the Planning Commission respectfully request the Commissioners approve change order number 6 with Flair Contracting of Cecil, Pennsylvania for additional hand dryers and wiring for the Washington County Fairgrounds Exhibit Hall number 1 restrooms at an increased cost of $1,142.06, which will be paid with 2023 local share account grant funds. This change order represents an adjusted overall project cost of $573,387.69 and has been reviewed and recommended for award by the Planning Commission.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Item E, addendum. Purchasing on behalf of Buildings and Grounds respectfully request the Commissioners approve an addendum to the agreement with Remington and Vernick Engineers to include additional costs for services associated with permitting and zoning for the Crossroads Center parking lot expansion project. The increased amount of $13,359 will take effect November 1, 2025.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Item F, addendum. Purchasing respectfully request the Commissioners approve an addendum to the professional service agreement with Ford Business Machines of Connellsville, Pennsylvania, for the purpose of adding 2 offices to the county's copier lease program. This addendum will increase the county's total by $550 a month and will include copiers for DUI Central Court and the Recorder of Deeds offices, effective December 1, 2025 through June 30, 2030, unless otherwise terminated pursuant to a 30-day written notice.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, that's the end of old business.
Thank you, Mr. Solicitor. New business, Chief Clerk.
Planning Commission respectfully request the Commissioners approve a surface use agreement with MPLX to install a launcher receiver site located at Cross Creek County Park. The site will be used to inspect and monitor the area's existing transmission lines. MPLX will pay the county $34,500 for this use.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Planning Commission respectfully request the Commissioners approve a permanent access road agreement with MPLX to create an access road to the launcher receiver site located at Cross Creek County Park. MPLX will pay the county $5,000 for placement and use.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Finance respectfully request the Commissioners approve a tax levy and appropriation resolution fixing the 2026 tax rate at 2.43 mils for county purposes and appropriating specific sum estimates to be required for the year.
So moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Before I vote, this tax levy, that is the budget. That's what we're talking about, tax levy finance, that's a budget. Mr. Chairman, I realize that there are important items in this budget that require funding, such as public safety, 911, the courts and rural offices. Therefore, I will vote yes for the budget. However, I do not agree with the funding that is earmarked to create a new government bureaucracy to handle the job the Washington County Drug and Alcohol Commission has done well for over 20 years. I do not support the funding of these new positions. I will not support their creation later. But since there are essential services that are needed to be provided by the county, I will vote yes on the budget.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Finance respectfully request the Commissioners approve the annual supplemental appropriation.
So moved.
Second. Again, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, this is part of the budget too. Item D, it's kind of not real well explained, but these two items are related to the 2026 budget. I'm sorry, Cindy, go ahead.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes. And to back up with Commissioner, yeah, it's just in here for a tax levy, 2.43 mils is what we played over the last 17 years. So again, your taxes are not going up. This is the budget that we did this year. A little dicey this year that we didn't have a state budget for almost the entire time, and a little dicey that we didn't have we had a federal government shutdown for a while. So it did cut into a lot of our reserves that we had, which at the end of the day means we had a lot less money to work with because we weren't making any of the interest. Thank you, Commissioner Janice. We weren't making interest on this, but again, we were able to execute this budget where you saw almost every county around us, cutting services, cutting nonprofits. I see blueprints this year. These nonprofits are crucial to Washington County, so it's imperative that we continue to float them along. And we were happy to do that, but again, did it this year without raising taxes. So good job, Adam.
And I will note 17 years without a tax raise.
Right. That's right. Yeah. So kudos to us. Chief Clerk, please continue on E.
Finance
And pass boards.
And yeah, honestly, yeah, absolutely. Please, E, sorry.
Finance respectfully request the Commissioners approve a policy renewal for accident insurance coverage with Philadelphia Insurance Company for attendees, volunteers, and seasonal juveniles of Community Service FITS Alternative Sentencing Program. The premium will cost $4,339 and will be effective January 13th, 2026 to January 13th, 2027.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Finance respectfully request the Commissioners approve a policy for general aviation liability insurance coverage with Old Republic Aerospace Company. The premium cost will be $6,509 and will be effective January 1st, 2026 through January 1st, 2027.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve a provider agreement with George Junior Republic of Pennsylvania to provide placement services, and the contract authorization amount will be $500,000 for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, and no additional county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Children and Youth Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve the 2026 calendar year special budget in the amount of $68,000. This budget will be used to cover supportive client services and various other related expenses, and no additional county funds are required.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Human Services respectfully request the Commissioners approve an agreement with Domestic Violence Services of Southwestern Pennsylvania to provide homeless assistance services for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2026 in the amount of $13,500, and no county funds are required.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of Corrections respectfully request the Commissioners authorize the advertising for proposals for healthcare services.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of Corrections respectfully request the Commissioners approve agreements for emergency as-needed laundry services with SCI State Correctional Facility Laundry Service at 47 cents per pound and Lanera Laundry Services at $2.50 per pound.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of Public Safety respectfully request the Commissioners approve a renewal agreement with Synergy IT for Level 3 support for the 911 Center at a cost not to exceed $100,000 for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026, with an option to extend for an additional year. Services outside the scope of work would require written approval from the county and would be billed separately.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of the Planning Commission respectfully request the Commissioners approve an internet agreement with Verizon Fios to be installed and activated for service in Mingo Creek County Clerk Office. Agreement will be effective from date of agreement for a 2-year period. Monthly charges of $271.61 plus a one-time activation fee and router fees will be paid through the park's operating budget.
So moved.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of Public Safety respectfully request the Commissioners approve renewal agreements with Synergy IT with the recommended vendors and cost for applications used to identify potential security vulnerabilities, excuse me for that, for the 911 Center, and will be funded from the 911 operating budget.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of Public Safety respectfully request the Commissioners approve an agreement with Horizon Information Services to provide and install cameras and badge swipes for the public safety building to address security issues in spots where there is no coverage. The total cost of $31,950 will be paid with Public Safety's 911 fund.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Purchasing on behalf of Elections respectfully request the Commissioners approve the renewal agreement with and invoices with ES&S for the 2026 election support at a cost of $88,300, which will be paid with Elections operating budget.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Chief Clerk.
Sorry for the struggle.
Drink some tea. You did a great job.
I have it.
Okay. Public comment. For For the general comment here, the views and the opinions expressed by the speakers during the public comment are exclusively those of the speakers and do not reflect or represent those of Washington County Board of Commissioners and have not been verified. First is Fern. Thank you, Fern.
Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Fern Seibert, and I'm from Clean and Tidy Our County. And as everybody has been listening to the news recently, that the NFL draft is coming to the area. And Washington County will be one of the areas because there's not enough hotel rooms in Pittsburgh to hold everybody. And Clean and Tidy would like to showcase Washington County and get volunteers and groups and organizations to help us clean up around the area, such as clean the grass off of sidewalks, clean up empty lots that are overgrown, and maybe help some of the senior citizens that cannot maintain the front of their house because the bushes are overgrown and stuff like that. And so we're working to get groups together of 5 or 7. My thinking, a group that's too big doesn't work real well because people are standing around waiting for somebody else to do the work. Anyway, you get 5 kids and 2 adults to supervise and some weed whackers and a couple of lawnmowers, and you can get a lot of work done on a city block or a township block that needs to be cleaned up. Because we have places like the Trolley Museum and Washington County Fair. In the city, we have the Bradford House and the Lemoyne House, and those to show, and some of our breweries here in the city that people like to go to. So there is places, and so if we can get groups together between March 15th, when the weather starts breaking, and April 15th, because the draft is the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of April. Anyway, and do it on your own time. I'm not going to give you specific days because we have no idea what the weather's like. How often do we get Thanksgiving snow like we got this week? We don't get that too often around here. So I still don't have my Christmas decorations up because of that snow. So anyway, if you would like to help and support, I will be having, this isn't written down anywhere because I just got the phone call on my way here today, January 10th at 4th Presbyterian Church, which is next to the Dairy Queen. I will be having a meeting about it. And also check your Facebook. And if you would like a flyer, I support a Clean Washington County. There's a phone number, which is my phone number. There's some in the back of the room for everybody to. Thank you, and sorry for running over.
We're also going to hang those around the county building too, so people can see them. So we'll advertise by hanging them. And Nicole,
Thank you.
if you could put that on our Facebook page, we would greatly appreciate that. Thank you, Fern.
Fern, thank you for all you do. This lady does this and doesn't get paid anything. This is all volunteer just because of their love of making sure Washington County is a good place to be. So thank you.
You're awesome, Fern. Jojo Burgess.
Mayor Jojo.
This is weird for me because I actually had to type something up and I have to read it. And normally when I speak, I just speak from the thing. So I'm going to say this. I'm forming today is being submitted to the Washington County Board of Commissioners to establish a transparent board of individuals to administer the distribution of funds from the Opioid Settlement Trust. Back in 2023, municipalities with over 10,000 residents were required to sign off on the Opioid Trust. My proposal was to establish a 5-member board that meets at the County Commissioner's office. That board should consist of the Mayor of Washington, which has a population of over 10,000 residents, The city also was required to sign off on the opioid settlement back in 2023, and it is the county seat. Therefore, there should be some part in the decision-making process. The mayors of Canonsburg Borough, which is population around 9,600 people, along with the mayors of Charleroi, Monongahela, which together have another approximately 9,000 residents and have a strong tie to the Mon Valley in Washington County. All these communities listed above are distressed in the opioid fight in Washington County. And finally, an at-large appointee from the commissioner's office. The board is to meet and keep minutes of every meeting so that the meeting minutes can be audited and ensure fair and equitable distribution of these funds. Also, I'm asking for all meeting minutes and an audit of past awards to ensure proper distribution was made and proper awards, and they be made available to the new board. If total transparency is what you want to provide the residents of Washington County, then this is the route to take, especially when there are several questions as to how prior funds were distributed and some possible ties with commissioners or staff with some other agencies awarded funds. I would like to also formally submit a proposal for a right to know request that requests past meeting minutes of the previous 3-member board who made distribution of prior funds sent to the county. This is to ensure that we have total transparency as to how decisions were made and when funds were dispersed. I do have a copy of this for everybody. I'm going to hand out and give to you guys. And also going to give to the media in the room and a couple others, because we want to make sure after the last meeting, I just want to make sure we have what we say total transparency, that our residents are taken care of in Washington County, especially with this fight that means so much to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jojo.
Yes, sir.
I just said thank you.
I thought you said something.
Cheryl Andrews.
Did you submit a right to know for that information?
Well, do I need to? If I need to do it on a paper, I'll do that.
Yeah.
What you need to do is,
Okay.
our chief clerk is the one who handles that. So after the meeting today, there's paperwork, I'm sure very similar to what you have
I got you.
in the city, that you will fill out the appropriate paperwork, you will make your request, and then within 10 to 30 days, we'll get you that information.
Got you.
Thank you, Mayor. Cheryl Andrews.
Good morning, my name is Cheryl Andrews, Executive Director for Washington Drug and Alcohol Commission that serves as the single county authority. Earlier this week, Commissioner Maggi issued a public statement calling for immediate formation of a committee to ensure transparency, fairness, accountability, and compliance with the opioid settlement funds. He noted the need for a firm application guideline, a publicized process, and support for qualified organizations. I agree with him completely. Commissioner Maggi attempted to add that item to today's agenda. Commissioner Sherman blocked it, stating that he already had something in the works, although neither Commissioner Maggi nor the public had been informed of any such plan. Commissioner Sherman then stated he was recently enlightened at the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania, a learning session about the opioid settlement funds and how they should be spent, which Commissioner Janis echoed on Facebook. The reality is that CCAP has offered opioid settlement learning sessions for 4 years. The guidance has been consistent. These best practices are not new, and other counties implemented them from the beginning. Washington County simply chose not to. As a result, more than $5 million in opioid settlement funds have been distributed without transparency, without a formal review process, without published criteria, and without meaningful accountability. Decisions about these funds have been made by 3 individuals with no public explanation of how they were selected or what criteria they are using. Families affected by addiction, treatment providers, and taxpayers have no visibility into how or why these decisions were made. Commissioner Sherman, you have repeatedly accused WDAC of receiving too much taxpayer money, yet you are creating positions that replicate existing services and add unnecessary costs to county government. That is not efficiency, it is a waste. And when opioid settlement funds are used without transparency, it undermines the public trust and it risks future state support while also negatively impacting the ability of our residents to receive the help they need when they need it. The public is paying attention. Many are frustrated and even outraged, and they are asking the same question I'm asking today. Where is the accountability? Washington County deserves a process that is open, lawful, and consistent. We deserve leadership that follows established guidance instead of improvising behind closed doors. And most importantly, the people struggling with addiction and the families supporting them deserve a system that they can trust, one where they feel safe. They have that in Washington Drug and Alcohol Commission. Thank you.
Sure, I'd like a brief response there. One, I've never made the comment that Washington County Drug and Alcohol receives too much money. I've made the comment that there is no transparency in the money that you do receive. I've made that claim, past commissioners have made that claim. You asked to have a meeting with me, I've agreed to have a meeting with you. I asked for some really, really basic budget items. You have yet to give that to me. So if we're talking about transparency, I would ask that it would go both ways. We, the county commissioners, have oversight in how your organization is running when we're asking basic questions. I find it troubling that you don't want to answer them. I had a meeting with you scheduled at 4 o'clock today. Heather, is that accurate? Or 3 o'clock today? 1 o'clock today, and you still haven't provided the information that I've asked. In addition, you're saying there's no transparency of where the money's going or how it's being spent. Every dime that is allocated is on a public website by Penn State that is following every dollar that we have for this. There's a board that sits that votes on this. All 3 county commissioners have unanimously voted on this. And moreover, I'm proud of the projects that we have. I'm proud of the support that we're giving our community. I stand by each and every project that we have. I look forward to having a meeting with you. I look forward to, after my 6 years, you answering some financial questions of where the money is and what it's being spent on. We have an MAP program in our jail that is wildly underfunded, which means that citizens in our jail that are not getting the assistance that they need. And I think there's some glaring issues. And I'm excited to have the meeting with you. I told you I would. It's a week later. I've scheduled this. It got pulled off my schedule. I'm excited to sit down and talk with you about it. So whenever you're ready, schedule it with my secretary and we can talk. That's the same exact statement I made last week, 2 weeks ago. Here we are 2 weeks later. I agreed to have the meeting. I asked some basic questions, and now you want your lawyer to come to the meeting. So again, if we're going to have full transparency on it, that's what's happening. There is transparency. There's a Penn State website that lists every single project that we have, and we've unanimously voted on this. Commissioner Maggi is calling foul now, but voted for all of them. So, I mean, I welcome an opportunity to discuss this, and if anybody wants to have a meeting in my office with me about it, I stand by every decision, every allocation that we made. I think they're good projects. I'm proud of the work that we're doing. So, Cheryl, thank you for coming up and speaking. I appreciate that, but to speak on my behalf is inaccurate. Again, I don't think that you're receiving too much money. We're just asking for questions on where the money is going and how we can work better together. You've been unwilling to do that. You continue to be unwilling to do that 2 weeks later. I look forward to the meeting, but again, if we're going to speak accuracy and transparency, that's the truth and the accuracy and transparency of the 2 organizations right now. So, Cheryl, thank you. At that, Commissioner.
Yeah, I do, Mr. Chairman. I just totally disagree with what you just said. Usually we don't have question and answers like that, but I guess we are doing that now. You're right. She canceled the meeting today, but it was such a short notice. I mean, sometimes, and again, it's difficult scheduling. I'm not talking about scheduling, but we contact them and give them certain dates that they can meet, and it's very difficult. And I know it was a short window for her to meet. The other thing is, again, I'm going to reiterate the process that we use to allocate that money. Yeah, we voted on it. First time we hear about it is in the back room here. And we are given the list that they've been allocated to. I hope we have minutes for the meetings. I hope there's minutes for the 3 people who are making these decisions. You know, I'm back there one time and I asked what this money's going for, was to buy wrestling mats. One of them was for. That's kind of what we're getting, the transparency of it all. So I totally disagree, Mr. Chairman, about the transparency. That's what we're trying to correct moving forward. Transparent, both with us, with all the organizations, including the county. We need to have transparency. So I do disagree with most of what you said, sir.
But you voted for it.
Yeah, I voted for it because I'm assuming I trust the people that are making those decisions. We were supposed to have some kind of a board to do it, and we don't. We had 3 people making that neither one of us are on that board. I'm not involved in meetings. I don't know if you and Commissioner Janice are. I'm not involved in any meetings selecting who gets money. And I hope we have minutes.
Yeah,
I hope we have minutes, and I hope we have dates when those meetings were held. I hope we have applications of where, who applied and what they were for.
Yeah, I can answer that. Before we've allocated any of that money, because I wanted to be a steward of the taxpayer dollar, I called Dr. Timothy in and we went over a line item of all the money that was being distributed and all the projects that were funded. You had every opportunity to do that. I know that you do that with Adam Petrus, our finance director. We voted on a budget today. You've had multiple meetings with him to go over the budget line item. I applaud you for doing that. I think it's you doing your due diligence on the county budget, and you have every opportunity to do the same thing in the opioid settlement funding. You didn't do it for the last 4 years, and
2 years, Nick.
2
Not
years.
4 years.
You didn't do it for the last, I think it's 3, but however long it is, you have every opportunity to do that. I mean, these aren't secret meetings that are being held behind closed doors. These are meetings that we had. The recommendations were given to us. We had every opportunity to call foul, to pull things off, to pivot, to make other recommendations. And I mean, you haven't done that. So again, you have every opportunity to do that. But to sit here now, years later, and say that we don't like this process, or really, again, the after-school program that you're saying that needed help with sporting equipment,
Wrestling mats.
I thought you'd like that one.
Well, it made me look bad because I'm a wrestling guy, but I found out in a meeting.
So we have after-school programs that we're doing. That's one of them. The Lemoyne Center's another one, both centered right here in Washington. I'm sure the mayor would be happy to know that. We're doing great projects. And you know what? People are crying foul on this now, but no one's gone to me specifically and said, I don't like that you funded X, Y, or Z. I mean, you may want the money, but to say that there's some kind of nefarious project that we funded, I just disagree with.
Mr. Chairman, we can sit here and argue. It's not what this is for. I totally disagree. I trust people to make those decisions, which I've done for 20 plus years on here. I don't micromanage. We have never did a board. I have never been notified when we're selecting. The only thing I've been asked, when I've been asking questions about the selection process, and I was told, well, who do you want funded? That was the process I got. Do you want somebody funded? Is what I was told. I said, that's not how I do things. We had the MSA committee we set up years ago, which has been highly successful, and to distribute money. They had minutes, they had dates of the meetings, and there was public meetings. I hope we have those 3 things.
Thank you, Commissioner Menke. Laura Dealer.
I'm Laura Dieterle, and I'm the Clinical Director of Washington Drug and Alcohol Commission. I'm glad that you brought up MAT inside the correctional facility because that is what I'm going to speak on today. For context, I've spent 6 of my last 12 years at WDAC working directly with the justice-involved population. MAT has been an essential topic throughout that time. In 2017, WDAC launched the Vivitrol Plus program inside the correctional facility, becoming one of the first counties in Pennsylvania to offer MAT. The program has always been funded through a state grant from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency, or PCCD. We apply for it every year, and the current grant is funded through September 2026. It is not supported by WDAC-based dollars, as the press release suggested. The program is capped at 25 participants, not 18, and that cap has nothing to do with funding. It has everything to do with appropriate treatment group ratios and the limited physical space inside the facility. Again, not a WDAC funding issue. It's also important to point out that aside from the Vivitrol Plus program, the jail currently has 29 inmates on other forms of MAT. Those costs are the responsibility of the jail, funded through the inmate fund, not WDAC. Pennsylvania has long recognized the importance of MAT in the correctional setting. State correctional facilities began offering MAT in 2014. In 2018, to help counties do the same, PCCD began offering federal residential substance abuse treatment, or RSTAT funding, to support county jail-based MAT programs. Since 2021, WDAC has consistently recommended that the jail expand its MAT services. Both WDAC and Prime Care Medical presented this recommendation multiple times to the prison board, which includes the county commissioners. Each time we were told no, because it was too expensive, despite our repeated explanations that grant funding was available. It wasn't until December 2024, when the Pennsylvania Institutional Law Project contacted the jail about inmate complaints related to the lack of MAT access, that the prison board voted to move forward with expanding services. It was also stated that the inmate fund will be depleted in 2027, and implied that WDAC has not provided a plan to cover the gap funding. Let me be clear, it is not the SCA's responsibility to fund MAT inside the jail. Additionally, a new RSTAT grant was announced in August 2025. WDAC was asked by the warden whether we were applying, but since we already have grant funding until 2026, we declined, but notified Commissioner Janis that this was an opportunity for the county to apply for support. To this date, this has not happened. Finally, I want to speak on the centralized booking center that was mentioned in the press release. WDAC has always supported this concept and has actively participated in multiple reentry committees working towards it. We were even involved in discussions of using opioid settlement dollars to support the formation of a reentry program, which we fully supported. In closing, it's clear that the press release portrayed WDAC in an unfair and inaccurate light in order to justify bringing the SCA under county control. The facts do not support the narrative. It's also clear by the inaccuracy in the press release that the county doesn't even understand the inner workings of WDAC. WDAC has consistently advocated for expanding treatment, following guidelines, and pursuing available funding for the community.
Thank you. Any further response? Solicitor's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I recommend a motion that a tax refund in the amount of $512.66 be made to resident taxpayers.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Maggi?
Yes.
Ms. Janice?
Yes.
Mr. Sherman?
Yes. Announcements, Chief.
Nothing further.
Sorry. Trying to move along with Christmas season, you know. Announcements, Chief Clerk.
The salary board will follow this meeting, and the next regularly scheduled Board of Commissioners meeting will take place in this room at 10 a.m. on Thursday, December 18th, 2025, followed by salary board.
Thank you. There will be no more business to be brought before this board. We stand adjourned. Thank you.